You mean to do it? Hey, Skiba News Nation family. How are you doing, Jake?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good, Jeremiah. I think tonight we have a really exciting live stream with you guys. You guys are going to enjoy. We have a special guest who's going to be joining here later in the show. So,
and also, I want to give a shout out to Opa and his awesome nurse today. Her name is Madison. Thank you for caring. And if you guys want to help us support Opa and help him get into the place where he needs to go in Plano, I think I put the QR code over there, unless it's been changed, but it should be right there. And you can help support Opa and help him get closer to us, which is weird because it's a whole story, but we'll get into it some other time. And I also wanted to thank Lindsay, two more people, Lindsay, and I want to thank Shannon and Chris for getting me this awesome Megalodon tooth. You can't tell me that's not awesome.
Hey, that's the same one that I dropped on my foot, right?
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
Hey, it is very, very heavy and sharp, so it checks out as authentic.
Have I tried to stab myself
really bad?
I have tried to stab myself with it. It is very sharp, so I stopped doing that.
No, don't do that. No.
But yeah, I think we got a pretty awesome show today. And hi, Opa. Hi, Madison, if you're watching. Hi, Lindsay. Hi, everybody. And I'm glad you guys are here in the chat. And we also have an awesome guest today. So, Jake, you want to go ahead and take it away?
All right, guys. We're going to bust through this because we have a very special guest. And he's reporting directly from Israel. So he's going to have some really interesting information to share for us.
Can I tell you something weird before we start? It is kind of current news. I'm sorry I keep interrupting. Okay, so
no, go ahead.
Have you heard about the NASA thing? I don't know if you know this, but NASA says they're sending up two pilots on the Artemis 2, allegedly to surround, that it goes around the moon. And I just want to know where that technology came from so quickly. Isn't that interesting?
Well, it could tie into some of the stories that we have this week. A bunch of UFO scientists just got like sewer slided or disappeared. So maybe they're just I
haven't got to the best part. Their scheduled launch is on April 1st. So is it a big April Fool's joke? Maybe. We'll see.
Wow. Well, yeah. So first, let's go ahead and play this this throwback TrutherCon ad promoting your presentation that just came out this past Friday, revolving around JFK. And we want everybody to go and check out the new TrutherCon website. There's a bunch of cool stuff on there. So if you haven't yet, check out this little ad here, and you'll get a little visual taste of it. What's up? We're here in the Skiba News Nation studio. Super stoked for you to see Jeremiah's TrutherCon 2025 presentation about JFK. It's going to blow your minds. But right. Anyways, we are going to have an even more epic conference here in Dallas this TrutherCon 2026. So make sure you guys go ahead and get your tickets at truthercon.com. You can go ahead and click this UR code or scan it or whatever you guys do. And when you get to the website, look around, click around on some things there, because we have some hidden gems, so to speak. No Easter eggs for us, but hidden gems, we call them. And yeah, click around. There's some fun actual hidden games and different things that you can discover on the website. You can also book your hotel. And not only that, we're going to be releasing the TrutherCon 2025 presentations.
We're going to start putting out all of the different TrutherCon presentations. And mine was very near and dear to my heart because I know my dad and I really bonded over this. And me and Opa worked really hard on this presentation. So we forensically show that there is no way that that fatal headshot could have came from where they say it came from.
So that you guys can get a taste of our vision for TrutherCon 2026, because it's going to be even bigger, even better. And yes, it's going to be on the same stage that Frank Sinatra and the Rat Pack performed on. And don't forget it, there's going to be a whole comedy night at TrutherCon 2026. So a little bit of fun for everyone. The conference is going to be family friendly. The evening event comedy is going to be for our older adult crowd, and people wanted to laugh a little bit to relieve some of the humor of the dark, dark times we're all living in. So anyways, guys, don't forget, check out TrutherCon 2026 right up here, and I hope you guys enjoy Jeremiah's presentation from last year. All right, so you guys heard it there.
Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it.
Out.
I'm all about forensics. Like, I always wanted to be able to prove something, and so I can't really show it behind me, but the best evidence I have is on this board right here that I'm gonna have to post. So it's fun, and this new one that I'm working on is gonna blow even more minds. Nobody's head was blown off, I promise. It's gonna be great. I don't want to give it all away. I'm sure if you know, you know, but it's gonna be awesome.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be really, really good. I'm so excited about it just because I know how well last year went, and this year it's like coming together even more smoothly. The venue is like at least 10 times better. It's gonna be really, really cool.
Yep.
Yeah,
It's gonna be fun.
yeah. Well, so this little disclaimer I'm about to make is because, for one, this is a live stream, and the next segments definitely have some language. There's a couple F-bombs that are going to get dropped. So if you have children and you're sensitive to language, please, I'm giving you the forewarning now. Go ahead and turn the volume down and watch it on your phone, but
I'm sure they hear a lot worse at school.
Yeah, there was a song that I played several weeks ago that really offended a lot of people. Remember that, Jeremiah?
Yeah, I love offending people. It's sometimes fun. It really depends.
Yeah. Well, Zach Lewis, our good buddy who's been on the channel, he made a visual companion to this rap song that was kind of exposing the Illuminati kind of dark evils of the world. The Pizzagate nonsense, and he added a bunch of amazing visuals to this song. So we're going to start off with this, and then we're going to get into some other news revolving around UFO experts being taken out or disappeared. We're going to talk about the current oil crisis and how there was a massive refinery in the U.S. that blew up in Texas. And interestingly enough, there were some Google searches that happened several days prior for that area, which is kind of interesting. And also this goes into the age of enlistment. Trump is going to be sending ground troops, and they opened the door for people 40 years old and people that had prior marijuana convictions to be able to enlist, because it sounds like the tensions over in Iran are going to escalate. But we're going to run through all these stories. Let's start off with this hip hop song and Zach Lewis's compilation to some of the figures on the world stage. And, it's pretty dense song. Let's just put it that way. So plug your ears if you don't like F words, but there's a couple.
Jeffrey's got our back. This shit is under control. 'Cause he reports directly to the people running the show. Well, gee. Who could that be? What a mystery. Even with the evidence, there's not a single hint to see. And these conspiracy have been mistaken all along. So I guess we'll never know just what is really going on. But before you call it anti-Semitism, try to listen and think how I said those families infiltrated religions. At the head of every snake is a servant of Satanism. Shit, the Vatican been human trafficking since the beginning. But one little country has become their seat of power, where they plot on pandemics and wars and twin towers. Babylonian Talmudism has been their recipe, and they've been sacrificing the fucking children for centuries. And they don't give a fuck about us. We're just goy, cattle, subhuman, only here to be destroyed and extorted and abused and ruled over with lies. But don't forget, guys, they're our greatest allies. Oh man, this song is gonna get me in some fucking trouble. That Khazarian Mafia's watching you with the fallen angels and Nephilim. It's time to rid society's closet of all the skeletons. So let me just be crystal fucking clear and set a precedent. If Trump is proven part of it, then burn him with the rest of them. Anyone taking cookies out of Epstein's jar, every Rachel Chandler handler in Epstein's car. And if he's really still alive, his judgment will come when he's mono with God. That's so go and grab a slice of Pizzagate. John Podesta's here to serve you each a plate. Tony's pouring fresh adrenochrome you really need to taste. And Barack...
It
Did
froze on my end.
stop? It froze on your end? Yeah, it froze on my end.
Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe it's because of our guests today. And
Okay, guys.
A really nice lady. And look, it's Kevin Spacey right off the set of a movie. He shot in his basement with a child and George Clooney. Weinstein funded it, Spielberg directed it, and Bono made the music and sang it. The kids benefit, and George H.W. Bush is pulling the car up with every man in his family, even Barbara. Ellen's on the way from
Barbara's
Diddy's
a
house
man,
with Sean
dude.
Carter. Cause here a Comet Ping Pong, the club is what you're part of. Oprah's on the way, but she'll be late. She's stuck in human traffic. We'll just have to film this sacrifice and show it to her after. Go and throw it on a lacy drive, but don't be losing that shit. Where's Anthony Weiner's computer? I thought that Huma had it. Just relax, take a nap with that guy in the Biden mask. Even if they catch us, we'll be fine. Just give it time to pass. Jeffrey's got our back. This shit is under control, cause he reports directly to the people running the show.
Don't you think it's kind of crazy?
Okay, so that was Isaac Cappy, or I believe it was Isaac Cappy. Anyways, that was the song, and Zach Lewis put that compilation with a bunch of memes behind it, and I thought he did a really good job kind of paralleling some of those Epstein images and showing the visuals to it. But it leads straight into these next clips, which is the confirmation of so many conspiracy theorists, and I think it's very interesting. Just check this out. Looks like we're having some technical difficulties.
Practice to be a conspiracy theorist now. But when you look at the fact that pretty much every system in place has greatly failed us, it makes sense. I mean, there's a whole list of reasons, literally, as to why we'd be skeptical of world leaders and government agencies. And then, of course, you have the food system that actively tries to poison you and then actively tries to prevent you from being able to grow food in your own backyard. And not to mention, we have an education system that would rather have a bunch of well-behaved workers rather than people who are innovative and can think critically. Because you know what? Why not have the government that you trust so much be in charge of what your kids learn for 8 hours a day? Not to mention, you have wonderful agencies like the FDA who get to simultaneously approve the medications that fix all your ailments right after they approve all the foods that cause the ailments. I mean, talk about a one-stop shop. So would I call myself a conspiracy theorist? Probably not. I think I would just call myself a guy with eyeballs. At the end of the day, it's pretty easy to see what's going on in the world, and they can only scream, quit looking at that, so long before you wonder, why don't they want us to look at that? And I'm really not here to even provide a solution as much as I am just pointing out the problem. Make sure you join the Foil Hat Gang. Go to the link in my bio, use code FOILHAT10 to get 10% off all of your favorite.
Sounds to me like we need to get some new conspiracy theories, because all the old ones turned out to be true.
Facts matter, Senator.
Yeah. I mean, conspiracy theorists are up something like 37 and nothing.
I love him so much.
Senator Kennedy for the win.
I've seen that meme.
I have a please excuse my sense of humor about him, and it's funny because I put Charlie in there. You'll see when you see it, but it's funny.
So yeah, I mean, it's so interesting. We live in the age of conspiracy theorists, and since we've been doing this for years now, Jeremiah, I've been doing it for almost 10 years. It feels good. It feels good, but it feels bad. You know what I mean? And
I don't feel bad. I
here's
feel
this funny.
great.
Well, it feels bad to be right because it's so terrible what we've been, guesstimating at. But there's no need to attack America. Democrats have done that already, right? And it's true, but unfortunately, it's also the other side of the aisle. It's the two wings of the same bird concept. And all are in the pocket of the government interests, the people that sponsor our politicians. And I just wanted to redirect people, if you haven't checked out some of Predictive History's channel, it's the gentleman professor that I was referencing, the same episode I played this that song from Isaac Cappy, and he has got he's really blowing up lately. I'm going to see if we can get him on the show. So if Kristen, if you're watching this, please reach out to Predictive History professor, because I'd love to have him on the show. But he's really explaining why a lot of the strings on the world stage are being pulled in certain ways. Pretty fascinating, but let's continue on.
They have to open up the Strait of Hormuz.
He just loves naming everything, Jeremiah.
I'm so sorry. Such a terrible mistake. The fake news will say he accidentally said, no, there's no accidents with me, not too many. They have to open up the Strait of
So this is an interesting comment I've heard recently on this, is the end goal of the war in Iran now is apparently to open up the Strait of Hormuz, also called the Strait of Trump. But what's funny is before anything happened in Iran, the strait was open. So it's like, we're moving backwards almost, right? But in a lot of ways, you could see that they foresaw the effect of the oil crisis, because why is it that Maduro was taken out just before the escalation of conflict in Iran? It's because the West, I think they knew this was coming, and they had to secure their oil supply here in the Western world, in South America with Venezuelan oil, because the world system's collapsing very quickly because of this oil crisis, because of the conflict with Iran. But, oh, by the way, did you see some of the pictures coming out of Kash Patel and his email getting hacked by apparently Iranian hackers?
No, but that's awesome. I never know which eye to look at when he's speaking. Have you ever noticed that one of his eyes starts to wander?
Sometimes, yeah, a little bit. He definitely had some.
Better not talk about his girlfriend, or you'll be in trouble.
Yeah, he had some frat boy pictures that got leaked from these hackers, and this is that feeling when Iranian hackers got your emails. As I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I take a look at my life and realize there's nothing left, because I've been blasting and laughing so long that even my mama thinks that my mind is gone, but I ain't never crossed a man that didn't deserve it. Now I didn't make a big segment on the actual images, because honestly they weren't even that incriminating or crazy, but I'm really interested in, they're releasing these pictures of him like smoking cigars and standing in front of a liquor case making a silly face, but I'm like, I wonder what really got leaked that's causing him to be so wide-eyed. But these are all just kind of the distracting news fodder. This story, a little bit more interesting. Air Force general known as the UFO gatekeeper recently has vanished. And this is just after some of the announcements that Trump made about releasing UFO disclosure. And this is really, really interesting, because it seems to be a consistent pattern with several of these people intimately involved in the UFO programs. So now multiple scientists are apparently missing or dead, and part of me wonders if they just took the hint and, went to the hills, because as soon as UFO disclosure happens, I think they're expecting it all to go crazy. But
Jake, I heard the hills are alive with the sound of music. So
police are searching for a retired Air Force general who vanished in New Mexico. William McCaslin went missing last month. Members of Congress are warning this could be a national security issue. The general was involved with the Pentagon's most advanced aerospace research. He oversaw a classified space weapons program. McCaslin was in charge of the Air Force Research Lab at a base in Ohio. It's rumored that base holds extraterrestrial debris from the Roswell crash site. The general was tied in with the UFO community. A source told the New York Post the general was a gatekeeper for anything UFO related in the Air Force. He retired due to mental fog, but investigators say he's still highly intelligent and capable. McCaslin was an avid hiker. His wife last saw him leaving with a backpack and a .38 revolver. No phone, no glasses. He disappeared 6 days right after Trump announced he was releasing the UFO files. And he's not the only one. 8 months before the general vanished, a rocket scientist who worked under him years ago also went missing. She was hiking in California with 2 other people. They saw her smiling and waving 30 feet behind them. When they turned back again, she was gone, vanished in plain sight. They searched for days and couldn't find any trace of her. This is a very, very strange situation. And 11 days before the general disappeared, another scientist was shot dead on his porch. Carl Grillmar was known for discovering signs of water on a distant planet, and he was gunned down in California. Freddie Snyder was later charged with his murder. He has a rap sheet, but was let out of jail by a Newsom-appointed judge weeks before he allegedly killed the scientist. We still don't know his motive. And we don't know if these cases are even connected. But this many top scientists getting killed or going missing in just under a year looks like a major red flag.
As far as the oil prices, people just need to.
Okay, so what do you think about that, Jeremiah? Before we move on to this next topic, I mean, why do you think all these UFO connected people are disappearing?
Well, I guess because of the disclosure stuff, or they're going to look stupid, so they don't want to be seen out in public, you know? They're going to be made to look like fools. I mean, that's what they're going to do. I mean, they're not going to give us anything good. Everybody knows. Unless they do.
Yeah. I think that's a good answer, because a lot of these UFO heads have been lying to people's faces for years, or misdirecting at the very least. So if they do reveal, by the way, these guys. Oh man. So this leads us into something that is reminiscent of 2020 and the viral videos of media all repeating the same catchphrases in regards to COVID lockdowns and masking and vaccines and all that. Well, now the new type of lockdown is associated with energy. And so let's check out the message that the has gone out to all of these news agencies.
Stop panicking. It's worth it to prevent Iran from having a nuclear weapon. So if I have to pay a little bit more for gas, I'll do that.
Pay the price. I mean, in order to have long-term stability.
The disruptions in the global markets are real and may be painful. But the long-term benefits, again, are incalculable.
There may be some sacrifices to be made at the pump on a temporary basis. I'm willing to pay 30% or 30 cents more at the pump to make sure that Iran does not have a nuclear weapon.
To win in life, you got to suffer short-term pain for the long-term gain, or short-term pain for long-term gain.
Freedom is not free. Americans are going to have to make some sacrifices.
This is short-term, and I'm asking you to just trust the man, okay? Trust the system. Let him call.
Okay, so we have this short-term pain for long-term gain phraseology going out across the airwaves. We're already seeing in Asia no gas any longer at the pumps. They're all saying the same thing. It's very reminiscent of what we saw in 2020 with the pandemic stuff. And then we're seeing interesting things like this. We're seeing the Strait of Hormuz closed, right? So oil prices are going up. But, oh, what is this? A random explosion at a Valero refinery in Port Arthur. This is one of the largest refineries on the Gulf Coast with roughly 335,000 barrels per day capacity. And, this just happened last week where, March 23rd, a huge explosion. This is not Iran. This is on U.S. soil. Boom. And so what is very, very interesting about this, we'll see here in a moment, is lo and behold, just a few days before March 17th, Port Arthur, Texas was trending search, possibly by an intelligence agency. So, I'm not saying it was a false flag or anything, but why all of a sudden was this boost in searches of that refinery happening across the world? That's a question you might want to ask.
Million-acre.
On another aspect of kind of things to pay attention to, there's a massive record-breaking wildfire happening in Nebraska, and it's burning down a lot of the stuff that feeds the food supply. And so it's going to tie into the clip right after this, but check this out.
Fire has been burning through Nebraska, if you didn't know, literally the size of fucking Rhode Island, and I've been noticing zero media coverage on it. Every camera, every reporter, every headline is pointed at the Middle East. Fire is approaching 1 million acres, one of the largest in U.S. history, and I just want you to think about this when considering this fire being in Nebraska, okay? Before we get to that, I just want you to think about this. Massive wildfires in Nebraska are threatening to slow efforts to rebuild the U.S. cattle herd, as key grazing land in one of the nation's top beef producing states has been destroyed. Fires fueled by high winds have burned roughly 775,000 acres of pasture, removing a critical feed source for tens of thousands of cattle, according to state officials. Loss of grassland is expected to delay herd expansion plans, even as producers have been encouraged by historically strong cattle prices. You see where I'm going here? Now think about this. Nebraska just so happens to sit on top of the Ogallala Aquifer, which just so happens to be the largest underground water source in America. Ogallala supplies 30% of all irrigation water used in U.S. agriculture. Think about this. While oil prices go up, fertilizer costs skyrocket. If shipping is interrupted, then grain exports also stall. This is happening during the biggest geopolitical crisis in 50 years. And you really think it's a coincidence?
It's America's biggest retail.
Okay, so we're having a hit on oil, which is hitting supply lines, and we're having wildfires burning the food for the cattle and affecting aquifer or whatever. And then check this out. Boom. They're rolling out the digital label system to Walmarts by 2027. They're already kind of experimenting with it. And, hey, if it's a day's wage for a thing of wheat, just like the scriptures talk about in the book of Revelation, and we see these price hikes and these changes to where it becomes, so expensive just to buy food. This is how they're going to be able to do it, quickly. They're not going to have to take a week of going and changing each price tag. They're going to have these digital price tags.
Retailers rolling out digital shelf price labels for all its stores by the end of the year. Walmart says that having digital price labels will help its store personnel do their jobs better and more effectively and ensure that prices are more uniform across different geographies. But the move is somewhat controversial, as some are worried that having the ability to quickly adapt price labels on the fly could lead to things like demand-based pricing that shifts prices for higher or lower depending on how changing dynamics happen for supply chains. Now, some lawmakers are already in the process of introducing legislation to ban the use of digital shelf labels, or DSLs. It's America's big.
And the last story, of course, the one I mentioned earlier, starting April 20th, 2026, January, February, March, April, 420, right? Which is funny topic-wise because they're raising the enlistment age from 34 to 42. 420 joke there again.
Well, you know who is born on 420? Adolf Hitler.
Oh, who?
No joke. Like
no way. Are you
I
serious?
Promise. I think that's why 420 is 420.
Oh man, I'm not surprised, but we definitely you have the marijuana connection with 420.
Did you really not know that, or are you messing with me?
I didn't know that. I didn't know that. That's I don't really. It's not a birthday I celebrate, but anyways,
okay.
you know,
not in your house.
Yeah, so just so interesting. But also because of the ground troop deployment, you're having troops also smoking cannabis to keep from getting deployed because it's coming quick. The ground troops in Iran. So very interesting. The U.S. Army's 420 joke here, and then removing the single prior conviction for marijuana possession. Just so funny. But anyways, Jeremiah, hey, we have a correction. It wasn't. I think you're wrong there. Your birthday was. We'll talk about that here in a moment. I don't know if you see the private chat over here, Jeremiah.
No.
Anyways, well, if you don't mind, I'd like to do a little introduction for our special guest.
I would love for you to. One of our greatest friends on the show.
Okay, guys. So, I think it was 2 years ago or several. It's been like a few years, but we had a very special guest, and his name is Nir Shoshani. And he lives in Israel, and he has an amazing story. He was impacted by your father's work, and he's a believer in Yeshua, and he's just a really cool guy. He shared a lot of his interesting. He like narrates current events and such through puppetry and creative endeavors, and he has his own news broadcast, Air News. And he's always been a friend of the show. And so we're really excited to invite Nir on to talk to us about what's going on in the Middle East right now. So welcome to Skiba News Nation, Nir. It's great to have you back on.
Welcome.
Oh, your mic.
Your audio is not working.
Muted.
All right. Just a second.
There you go.
All right. Yeah, and I will put this thing on. And now I'm okay, right?
I can hear you.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Good.
Hey, by the way, it was 420. I just looked it up.
Yeah. Now, about this. Okay, he was born on April 20. Is the area sign, but he passed away on April 30th. Okay, which April 30th has a repeating. It's a repeating date that have all kinds of like disasters in Israel.
Really?
Yeah.
What about April 27th? That's when I was born.
And April 30th, I also did a show about the Luciferian calendar, okay? And we checked this date is in the Luciferian calendar is a high holiday of sacrificing, doing devilish stuff, you know. So anyway, it all connects in the way that you know.
Sacrificed?
Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
You think Hitler was sacrificed?
It was all marks of this cult that they're having, okay?
Right.
Those things. I do think that this is not the real or important symbology, okay, of Satan in our world, okay? This is only like the comics of this, okay? I think that the real big symbolism of Satan in our world is economics, media, wars, yeah, what we're here to talk about. So, first of all, I would say that it's a great pleasure to meet with you guys again. I really like following you for several years already. Here on Air News, we are on the 7th season. And I remember we had this meeting on the 5th season when we were after, right before and after the events that happened on October 7th. And we had a long emotional show. I remember on the week that after it happened. And every time that I'm gathering with you, so I'm thankful for this opportunity. As you said, Rob, your father, he was one of the critical men that actually opened my mind to flat Earth at the beginning. And I even spoke with him over the phone. And each time that I'm speaking with you and getting with you over to broadcast, I feel like it's a kind of like closure. And I'm sure that Rob is happy about this combination. And besides that, I want to give my prayers and whatever I can do to your grandfather Opa. I know that he's like having medical issues, and I'm just praying for his health, and hopefully, I'm sure that God will bring him back to you and all that needed.
Yeah, right now he's just trapped at the hospital, and that's what they do here in America. So he's trapped until we can get a private ambulance. But you know, he's going to get better. He's getting better as the days go forward. But what is it like living in Israel right now as an Israeli citizen?
Yeah, so we will start with that. But before that, I want to give my statement, of course. Before that, I will say that I will quote John 5:43. I have come in my Father's name, and you do not receive me. If another comes in his own name, you will receive him. And that is my intro for saying that whatever I'm saying in this show is in the name of God, okay? Whatever I receive in my own senses, whatever I took into my understanding, what God is trying to tell me, this is what I will bring on to this show. And if I'm misinterpreting God in any way, I ask humbly for forgiveness ahead. So, war report from Israel. Can you give me a sound effect, something like, to dramatize it?
I don't know. You called me on Jake's birthday, and you said, "Oh, bombs for Jake's birthday," and I played it for Jake, and he was like, "Oh my gosh!"
He literally was saying, "Happy birthday!" Boom! Like,
everyday celebration over here. This is Israel, real life. Yeah. All right. So I will divide this war report into two segments. In one, I will give the physical war report, which is goes the following. If we mentioned earlier the ones who are coming with their own name, okay? Do you have a guess who they are? The ones who are coming with their own name and the people who receive them. The ones who are coming with their own name are media anchormen, politicians, army officials, everyone who are coming with their saying, look at my experience, look at who I am. And according to that experience or like what you have behind him, he's like telling you things that you need to trust and to believe in, right? Those are people coming with their own authority. The public like those kind of people. So if you go with what those people are telling us for the last 4 weeks, I lost count. We are now in a war with Iran, and
we've been dragged into it. Apparently,
still getting bombs by missiles from Iran, about like 10 times a day, something like that. Go to the shelter, save your life. The thing that that it kind of like destroys your life and think that the economy and you can run a normal lifestyle and all of that. Forget that. You know what? We are winning. We are bombarding the nukes, the missiles, the plants, the navy, everything. Boom, 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 boom. We annihilated the Hujba, Al-Mujba. We annihilated everyone, all the top officials over there. We are the greatest. We have the top army. We are wonderful. And this thing will be remembered for generation and generation and generation. We are awesome. We would kiss our own butthole if we had the atomic ability to do so. But we will settle by saying that we are the greatest. Not only in this war, also like in the war that we just got opened up again with Hezbollah. So
So what are your thoughts on Netanyahu?
Oh, yeah, we'll get to Netanyahu just a second.
Because I have a pretty interesting stat that I want to run past you here in a little bit.
We'll
how many people he's killed.
To him in a bit. Now, for us, like truthers, people who suspect the media normally, it kind of like those lies are starting, popping up as long as the war continues. And, they're saying that the biggest victim of war is the truth, all right? Because once war starting, all becomes like propaganda, of course. Now, for lie number one, okay, that is like the obvious basic level of all things, okay? Didn't we had a war with Iran 9 months ago? Yeah, I remember. I was there. I remember also that the end of this war, they held a press conference and showed us pictures. We love pictures, right? Yeah, pictures says everything. And showed us, we bombarded this one and this one and boom, 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 boom. And ballistic missiles annihilated, nuke annihilated, everything annihilated. Also Hezbollah and everything. We're the greatest. So in 9 months, they got like a whole bunch of quantity of missiles again. And new advanced missiles that kind of like split and stuff, and they like pretty much like earlier, but never mind. We got into war again. We need to annihilate them. It's the most just war ever. Well, never mind that we did it 9 months ago. All right.
Yeah,
all right.
That was when Trump he bombed their nuclear facility. It was like a big deal, and apparently that had ended any of their progress developing nuclear weapons and such. And that, you're right, that was months ago, and it seemed like after that, how could they still be developing these weapons? Although it does seem like they definitely had a heck of a lot of drones ready to shoot towards most of the states surrounding them.
Yeah. Jake, I'm surprised. I thought that you're a normal person, but I figured out you're just a conspiracy theorist and think about those things. So, it doesn't matter what they had. They regained it, and now we have to go to war. Come on. What's not obvious?
Yeah.
All right. So,
where's the money maker, money machine?
Yeah, and then after they telling you that that we are winning this thing, we annihilated all the ballistic missiles, and like the people from the ballistic missiles launchers are like running away, escaping. Then you hear the siren, all right? And that has somehow like conflicts in your mind. Just a second. They told me on television that they're gone. Doesn't like work out logically. I don't know. And
it's got to be psychologically just so damaging to people there, constantly having to flee for your life, constantly having this noise. I mean, that's how like Chinese torture and all that kind of stuff. I mean, when they want to make prisoners of war miserable, they constantly play, Baby Shark or whatever. And so you guys are like literally living through psychological damaging experiences.
Yeah, we will get to that. This is on the spiritual level. We're still like on the physical one. Now, that shows you that everything that we can get from mainstream television, from the media, whatever, in this generation of AI, and that relates to Mr. Benjamin Netanyahu.
Fingers and all.
Nothing can be certain, okay? I think they had like a huge own goal in that aspect, all right? Meaning that they presented the AI to the world, okay? But now you using this AI thing, and we can trust anything you say, right? All think it could be AI. You can do that thing with the explosion of 2 minutes on the app, right? So it's like nothing can be trusted, all right? So I think it, each kind of like technology that comes by, it you can think like it's come from Satan, but it kind of like reveals all kinds of like lies, hidden lies that were like, who are hidden before. So about Bibi, yeah, he also like appeared on television, the six fingers thing, whatever. By the way, do you know what kind of like reference it is? Which movie?
I was thinking Nephilim. Don't they have six fingers?
Yeah, maybe, but no, yeah, I think it's like it relates to the movie of The Princess Bride. He had like the six-man finger there. Inigo Montoya, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Anyway, so in this AI era, we can't really be sure. Also, Bibi appeared something. I don't think that actually this one was actually AI generated. I think.
Do you think he's still alive though? Like I've heard a lot of reports that people don't think he's still alive.
I can't speculate anything. Okay, it's not really. I don't know, all things seems like suspicious. Okay, those kind of like manipulation over graphics and things. This is things that we know from NASA. Okay, and those things are kind of like gives you a sense that there's a lie going on somewhere. But
well, he's been in power since the 80s, right?
Yeah, like since the late 80s. It was the first time he was prime minister. It was in '96 after the Rabin assassination.
I think a lot of people don't understand that context, how long he's been in power in Israel.
Crazy. Anyway, about Bibi, again, I can speculate. Yeah, he's dead, he's not. It doesn't matter, okay? It doesn't matter what I speculate. It's, this is all of the screen mist that we are like in. We can't know anything what's going on, okay? Also, like on the other side of like the conspiracy theories that say, yeah, Bibi is dead or whatever, we can't be sure about anything. All is like a big scramble of lies and sirens and whatever. This is like living in Israel today. And to get to the second lie that we see on the physical level, the rockets themselves. Now, I remember like on the last episode that we got with this war over June, there was a big missile landing in the middle of my hometown of Rehovot, in the middle of the city, and it was close by, something like I don't know, half a mile, even less from my home. And it was like a big. I remember like being in my apartment and watching my daughters like going outside of the room, and then like
it was the day after your birthday, right? The first time one of
them. No. It was like in the previous episode in June. Okay.
Oh, okay.
And I remember like my daughter running to me from like the porch, okay, and over there at the porch I saw like a big flashing light, okay, a big flashing like in camera light, okay. And then after that there was like the hitting of the rocket and like a big orange cloud. Now, this, and also I remember very, very smoothly that it was a big noise of an airplane, right? So the flashy light that I saw could only come from one thing, okay, that I can think of, is that the airplane that I'm hearing is the one who's like shooting, and what I'm seeing in the flash is actually the flashing of once this rocket is being fired out of the airplane, all right? And then after that, I heard the boom of the orange cloud. So this brought me to the suspicion that those rockets are not coming from Iran. Also, like technologically and like logistically, I don't know, it doesn't make any sense that all those rockets will cross 2,000 kilometers across Iraq and Jordan, and all those things that we saw, like NASA's claiming that their rockets are getting to. All those things seems odd to me, right? But in this round, I could clearly, I don't know, I paid attention to that, and I noticed that every time before there is like a big landing close by to me, okay, there's like airplanes before the alarm. There's like airplanes circling the sky, and this is what I hear. All right, and and you can share also like the video that I just attached over here. Okay,
Jake, do you know how to do that?
And what we're seeing here is first of all the alarm. You hear the alarm, this scary sound.
Sounds like our tornado sirens, but worse. Here in Texas.
Yeah, something like that. Soon you will see those rockets coming from the left side, Okay, the top left side, and those are the rockets. Yeah, here they are. These are supposed to be the splitting rockets. Okay, somehow they got now this technology of splitting rockets. Right? Why didn't they use this before if they got it now? Weird, right?
I've wondered that. I've wondered
Yeah.
about that.
Well,
Yeah.
now they say it's balsa wood, that they made them out of balsa wood. It's like, really? We're supposed to believe that it got through that dome because it was wood?
Now,
doesn't make any sense.
Now, pay attention to the guest that enters to the frame. Yeah, we got like this, I shouldn't really lightning. Yeah, an aircraft coming from the same direction, hovering in sky, and is like, you know, he's probably, from what my logic assumes, okay, that he's the one who fired these rockets, all right? Now, I'm not claiming that this is the Israeli Air Force.
Oh, you heard it right there.
Yeah, you hear the booms. Boom, boom, boom. Those I think are not the booms of the rockets that they sent, but for the rockets that are coming from the Iron Dome, I think. Anyway, yeah, I can stop the video. And so this is one big lie that you see is like hovering above you and kind of like, you know, joins up to the other lies and tells you what the hell is going on over here. We're like shooting on ourselves. Okay, they're telling you it's coming from Iran. We're actually shooting on ourselves. Isn't that reminds me of something that the government is usually doing with selling out their people? I don't know. Now, third lie, okay, is about why are we in this war, okay, and why are they trying to? What are they trying to hide? What is the actual thing that is, you know? You see, you saw the movie of Wag the Dog with Dustin Hoffman and Robert De Niro.
I don't think so.
Wag the Dog? No, I haven't. A must, especially in times of war. This movie, there's like they are inventing a war. The president over there is like harassing some kind of like a schoolgirl or something like that, a sexual harasser, and they invent a war in order to with Albania in order to deflect the public opinion, and they're like right before elections or whatever. So they open up a war with Albania, and it's not an existing war. Anyway, so there could be like all kinds of issues which are like behind this this incentive to go to war all of a sudden. It could be the Epstein files. I'm sure that you covered that here. You know, it could be the trials of Bibi. It could be, you know, budget and.
That's something that I've been researching lately. Is what you said about the Bibi, about trials, and nobody seems to know that here in the U.S. But Tucker did like a deep dive on it. I was watching it and I was like, I've never heard of this before. Why am I just now hearing about this?
No, it's like going for a long time, for about 10 years or so. Okay,
and what did he do?
Trials. Supposedly he got gifts and what kind of like publicity or stuff like that. The trial is actually bogus. Okay, they don't have any claims for him. He's not guilty of. He's not guilty in the things that they that you know that they are like treating him in this trial. This is only like a diversion, right, from the actual things that he's actually guilty. Okay, with selling out his people, with killing whatever amount of people that you tell me that he killed or whatever. Having a pact with the Satan himself. I don't know, but yeah, this is you know. It could be that this is like this war is a deflection, okay, from some kind of like a thing that they don't want you to be involved right now. But in general, okay, altogether, a situation of emergency, of a war, is always good with politicians, with army, with medical, with all the institutional things. They are like shining and rising. Yeah, money. This is where the money. All the other ones don't work, okay, but they. Full-time energy, having the time of their lives. So why not? War, fun. So this is about the physical report that I want to hand out. Any kind of like questions about this physical report?
No, I appreciate you telling your story, and us to be able to hear it, from an insider's point of view. And I feel like that's always important because, like, we don't know. Go ahead, Jake.
Yeah, I think it's very fascinating what you're sharing. I've never heard the perspective of, some of these rockets or missiles could have been deployed by aerial craft. And I guess the question would be, like, in Jordan, in Iraq, do they look up and see these missiles flying over their heads, or are they just somehow appearing over the skies of Israel and then getting
you
through
should
the
have
Iron Dome?
expected that it would be like a degree of those missiles or whatever. They're saying that they're like launching them in the atmosphere. Yeah, we all like atmosphere, right? Excuse me, above the atmosphere. And then I asked them, if this atmosphere is yours, which kind of like condition it is? Is it like solid, gas, or liquid? This atmosphere that you're talking about. Oh, yeah, it's gas. Yeah, it's gas. But then you'll be sucked up to space, don't? No, that's not the deal with vacuum that you're claiming there's in space, right? So anyway, let's get back to the spiritual report for the war. Now, the war, the spiritual war that we're having over here, as I told you over the previous show that we had, the way that I look at it, the way that I observe it, the way that I choose to look at it, is a spiritual war. Now, the sides in this war is not Israel, USA, and Iran, but the side of these wars are like the biggest rivalries from the beginning of time, God and Satan. Now, I will get you to the book of Job, okay? If you probably know the story about God and Satan having a bet on whether or not Job will still keep on believing in God, if they will take everything from him, if it will make him miserable, if it will bring all the punishes, all the things on top of his head, if he will still believe in God. And I bring up this story because it's the very same thing that happens in this war.
History repeats itself. It just keeps repeating itself, it seems.
Yeah. As there was in every crisis that we had in the last war, okay, the way that I observed things. Now, this battleground of this spiritual war is people's mind, where their belief and their soul are the spoils of war. This is what God and Satan wants, okay, because it's from the early days of this world. Satan, whatever he wanted is just to sit in God's place. Tell them, yeah, sure, God, sure, you're not relevant anymore. I'm glamorous. Everybody likes me. I'm shining. I'm like, come on, everybody believe in me, not in you, some kind of like a spiritual God that no one sees. So I'm the one they believe in. And God tells them, I created them, so they should believe me. And then Satan, he sends his soldiers in the mainstream media, politicians, army, and he orders them, okay, produce a show for everyone, okay? Show them whatever mighty, incredible things that they never thought of that they will see. Send them fire from the sky. Show them like... wake them up night after night with sirens, like as you said, like with this Chinese torture. Do whatever you can, and now let's see if they're scared enough. Now see if they're really willing to believe Satan and do what he says. And what does Satan want? What is Satan saying?
He wants war.
He wants war. The war is just for the projection of ours, okay? What he wants for what our God and Satan are observing. They are observing us in this critical moment, okay? That I believe is very beautiful and honest. And this moment is the moment that we hear. Sometimes you get out of sleep because of that, okay? But in this very moment, it's the moment that you got and a shining on your freedom of choice. You got two options in that very moment. Option number one, do what Satan wants you to do. And that you can get in television. Every minute they're saying, go to the shelter, save your life. Go to the shelter, save your life. Go to the shelter, save your life. Right? Like a drill in the head. Now, and they want you to go down to the shelter and be updated when they let you go out of the shelter. All right? And if you are picking on doing that one, you are picking Satan's choice. Okay? You did exactly what Satan wants you to do. On the other hand, option number two, the godly option. And that is to continue on doing whatever you did before the siren started. You can have a prayer for people that won't be hurt. You know for yourself that you will be perfectly fine because you got godly protection. Okay? I don't need shelters. I know that God is 100% is sheltering me.
Mm-hmm.
What's the deal? And if I will show a glimpse, a percentage of doubt in that thing, oh, maybe I should, here's an airplane, maybe I'll go hide myself somewhere. No, I'm picking a little bit of Satan. Okay? No, not for me. Fully with God. And people are telling me I'm crazy. And I'm telling you, this is my logical choice, okay? No, Neil, you can be hurt. You can be something. Don't you care about your children? Don't you care about whatever? If God decided that this is my time, I will resist that, okay? If that God will did decided that this is my time, million shelters won't save me. Come on.
Yeah, Nir, wow, that's really profound thought, because it reminds me of Daniel and Babylon. It reminds me of the three men in the fire. You know, they had pure faith and they weren't willing to do what Satan wanted them to do, which was bow at the sound of the trumpet. And it's literally go get in the shelter. Here's the trumpet. Go bow under the ground. And what you're describing is really, wow, just kind of a profound way of walking through that fear-mongering state that you're living in Israel.
But we were here, but you were there, okay? Also, like in this situation, 3-4 years ago, COVID times, exactly the same situation. Everybody in the television, jabs. And you are like, just a second. I still have freedom of choice. I was still created in God's image. I still am a human being. No, this is mRNA. This is not, we're not trying to do something with your DNA or something. No. You see all the evil scientists with their jabs thing and whatever, and you know they're belonging to Satan. Woo! And you're like running away from that. The same thing goes with the sirens. It doesn't matter how many pyrotechnical aims they will deliver, what kind of shows, Ghost Riders from the sky, whatever. No,
Johnny Cash.
No, I'm still with God, and
you're still here with us.
Yeah.
And as long as you're here with us, we would love to have reports with you. You know, you're always welcome on the show.
Yeah, and I would say that if we say that, you know, in this physical war, I don't have any power to influence. Okay, I can't do anything. You know, against those rulers of this world. You know, they are like well practiced with, like, you know, if someone is like resisting anything, to do like with this, you know, little finger. Okay, like that. Okay, to squash him. But you know, on the spiritual realm, we are the strong ones because we have the belief,
right?
And believing in God, that really what keeps me on in this war. That I feel that keeps me safe. And I want to sum out my report with my epilogue, if possible. All right. And that is the reason that I say that we are always on the news, right? Always what's going on in Israel, right? Oh, they have a war there, they have a war there, blah, 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 blah. Israel, Israel, Israel. Why is that? Why is that? There's like anti-Semitism, and it's like wrong that there is like anti-Semitism, and why is everybody thing to be focused on us? We're that kind of like tiny country. Why? Why is that? And to give you that, okay, to conclude that, I will lead you to a story that happens like long time ago, since the beginning of the formation of the Israelites as a nation. We can see in the book of Judges the repeating cycle that keeps happening to these people. As they sin against God, they go and worship other idols, and then God sends all kinds of like nations to hurt the Israelites, then he saves them, and this repeating cycle is told about 10 times, I think, in the book of Judges. Now, what happened is like that throughout history, God sent them prophets to make them come back from the old bad ways. And what bad ways are there? The ones of like, worshiping other idols. And the people didn't listen to him. We got an exile for Babylon. At the end, like at the end of the days of the second temple, God told them, all right, no more prophets. Come on, I had enough with prophets. I will send them my son over there to this Jewish religion that I'm trying, that they turned actually the believing in God, which is something which is spiritual and personal, into a religion, which is something materialistic and with group, okay? Made with group. And I will send them my son, and I'll tell my son will tell them all the wrong things that they are doing. And in reaction, they hand them out to the Romans for crucifixion. Now, this horrible sin that they did this in the name of the Jewish religion, since it happened, they are doing everything to deny, mock, dismiss, and erase this story from the consciousness of the Israeli people. They even like took the book, the Holy Bible, half of it. The nation of a book will get only half a book. Ironic. Now, and ironically, it's happened over here in Jerusalem, all this story that we're talking about, right? Now, my spiritual statement goes the following, okay? The people of Israel will continue on suffering wars, deceptions, and other disasters as long as there won't be any acknowledgement, acceptance, and forgiveness for the story of the God's Son, Yeshua, as within the Gospel of the New Testament. There won't be any retaliation, okay? There's still like a big lie, which is underneath all this. And I think that, I will give you another example. After October 7th over here, all kinds of like families that lost their sons or whatever in the army, they wanted to know from the government all kinds of like answers, what actually happened. And the government did everything to cover and, and deny, not giving them any kind of like information. Also, they changed the name of like from this October 7th massacre into the events of the Simchat Torah. All right. So I think that the parents have a kind of like a right to be pissed off about it, right? Yeah. So let's compare this example to the story of God and his son, all right? If like for 2,000 years, these people over here keeps denying and erasing the name of his son, he will be pretty pissed off. And if he does bad things, disasters, wars, that's what happens. Now, my opinion is not popular, okay? It's not popular here in Israel. I'm suffering a lot, but I'm proud going in this narrow road that I'm always leading myself to in that sense, because I think that my role here is to observe and see who is like still can be saved in Israel, right? In this name of Yeshua. And I will conclude that with another verse from John 20:23. If you forgive the sins of any, the sins have been forgiven to them. If you retain the sins of any, they have been retained. And this is pretty much about it. Any kind of like questions, things you want to, maybe the chat room or whatever?
Well, like I said, you're always welcome to come on the show and, give us updates and, how you're doing and everything. But I will say the most important medicine is to laugh. I will say, because during times like this, like I'm in a pretty dark time in my life. The only thing that's got me through it has been laughter. So that's what we're going to be playing next is my Please Excuse My Sense of Humor. And it's all about, making fun of the, just everybody, just all the people who like to take advantage of people, especially here in America. America is pretty bad. People claim to be one thing and they're not. Does that make sense?
Yeah, pretty much. But, again, who do you believe?
Mm-hmm.
That's the only thing that matters. I want to conclude and with a short prayer. I want to thank God, Jeremiah, Jake, for bringing me here to give my war report. Hoping God will keep us all safe so we can continue on serving Him by His name, in His word, for His glory. Amen.
Amen. Let's laugh. You ready to laugh, guys?
Yeah, I'm ready to laugh.
All right, here we go.
Kick me out of it.
No.
Some people might find some of these jokes offensive. If you are one of those people, I'm sorry that you cannot take a joke. Viewer discretion is advised.
I think we should kill Hitler. Me and you go suicide, kill him.
Yeah, it's like died 50 years ago, probably.
Did he? I didn't even know he was sick.
He wasn't. Well.
You gotta always love Alex Jones.
It into 4 cubes so you can share biopsy.
Yeah.
I love how you're plating this. That's so cool. That's so cool. That's so cool.
Is it glitching for
I
you
know
a little
it's
bit,
awkward
Jeremiah?
being here with Hitler, I am, because you sold a lot more books than he did. But lately, his is getting way too popular again.
So Gilbert is
Hitler, make yourself mind comfortable.
I'm taking off for a second, okay?
You look nervous. Are you nervous?
Yeah, I think I left the oven on.
This is what you could end up looking like if you eat some of the raw, frozen shrimp being sent to the United States by other countries.
I'm 11 years old. I'm 12 years old. And I'm 14. We believe that blacks are not equal to whites, and when the time comes, God will demand us to kill all Jews.
And you'll see.
Listen to what you just heard. These are vile words that did not come out of the mouth of some middle-aged
bigot. He's got a
bigot.
cross in the wrinkles on
they
his
came
forehead.
out of the mouth of
He's
a
got like
child.
a crucifix in his wrinkles.
This is funny because when I was Israel, we flew Lufthansa, which was like their big plane thing. And I was like, this is so bad. So it says, making unwearable designs, day 9/11.
Hey, look at this comment. Cats carry parasites trained by the Illuminati.
Cats are perfect and beautiful. Jake, this is for you.
Down food. Hey man, they're the happiest people in the world.
That's what I'm saying. He's happy, man.
The crazy thing is now I can't unsee it. I don't know how I didn't see it before.
What is this?
I can't unsee it now.
He's got a certain pattern on him. It's like, yeah, I guess cats are like Nazis. My cat, he makes it very apparent.
It goes back to ancient Egypt. The cats were like alien gods to the ancient Egyptians or something.
Look at this dog. Freaking him out.
What if you got
post
a
stuff
snake
like
charmer?
Putin uses the N-word. I call it the N-word. He uses the N-word, the nigger word, all the time. That's a no-no. You're not supposed to do
that.
He didn't, but.
The groomer. Never take my cat to the
Good evening.
groomer.
I'm out here looking for Bigfoot. People say this is where he is, yet he's nowhere to be found. Shocker. He's okay posing for photographs taken by stone photographers once every 50 years, but when somebody actually wants to sit down and talk, the mighty Sasquatch is an invisible coward. I found a set of his footprints leading to a campsite. It was a campsite for Boy Scouts. There was a hole in one of their tents.
It's got the creepy laugh.
Yeah.
Sounds to me like Mr. Foot is featured in more than just the X.
Are you fans of Tucker?
I am, yes.
Yeah. I got run over by a choo-choo
as well.
For Jake.
Hey, that.
Never forget. Never forget. So I have this character named Heinrich on the show. He never leaves the show. But I did find a dog. They're so antisocial.
Okay.
The Jews.
This is for Jake.
Stop for a second. Stop for a second.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hava Nagila, Nagila Venismecha. You know the interpretation of that song?
No,
please tell us.
Oh yeah. So Hava Nagila, it's like let's be joyful. Let's
That's
be joyful,
so funny.
Joyful. And be happy.
Well, it's funny.
Hava Neranina, it's the Hemshech. Hava Neranina, it's like let's sing. And be happy again. That's all.
You know the song that you hear that's always like kind of used for Nazis. It's this song right here. This song is about a woman named Erica, and it has nothing to do with the Nazi Party, but people think it does, but it doesn't. Just a fun fact. So it's interesting that the song is joyful. The other one's about a man falling in love with a woman. Isn't that interesting? And did you know, Near? Have you ever Lion King?
No, I haven't saw that. A hole in my education.
If you ever watch it, it'll really make you mad if you find out what the song, its translation is. Look, there's a lion. That's all it is. On that hour.
I want to share afterwards a song which is but continue on your.
This was the last one.
Wait. I wanted to ask Near. What is a niganim?
Naganim. It's like a player. Someone was like playing something, guitar or whatever. Naganim.
Yeah, kind of like a fun tune, right?
Yeah. Then again, it's to play an instrument.
Oh, nigun as a tune and a melody.
Yeah, nigun is the tune.
Oh, okay.
Watch it.
Yeah, well, I was we have Hebrews,
little
native here, so I thought it was
Now, I want to share with you, but why isn't it happening? Just a second.
I thought they were saying taco, lucky to taco. That's really what I thought it was saying when I was a kid. So
I want to share something.
A hit
burrito taco.
Yeah.
I share over there a link in the chat. Okay. It's a very now we have like a Hebrew lesson. Okay. Related to this war actually. Okay. A very famous children's song in Israel. Okay, which is called Uga Uga. Okay.
Can you guys see this?
Yeah, great.
All right, here we go.
Uga, uga. Now, uga in Hebrew, from what everybody knows, is a cake. Okay, a cake that you eat. Now, the whole uga, uga, uga.
Oh, I got his hand.
Okay, that's enough. Cool. Okay. You know, the thing is that it's called uga, 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 known as a cake. Okay, but it actually comes from the root of ug, which means something something which is round. Okay, ug, something which is round. Now, this is the verb. Now, if you're telling someone not uga, uga is a cake, but uga, okay, it's actually do this verb in a form of command. Okay, uga, uga. So actually, what they're saying in this song, okay, it's not a song about cake. It's a song about spinning around. Okay. Now it goes following. We will spin around until everybody will find his place, and then we sit down. Now get up. Sit down. Get up. Now I'm claiming that this song was psychologically inherited in us and programmed in us in order to prepare us for these situations of war. In the situation of war, what you do, you spin around all day until you find a spot, and then get up, go into the shelter, get out, go outside of the shelter, get up, get up, get up, get up.
Wow.
Yeah, the interesting mysteries about the children's songs in Israel.
Dude, I want to make like puppet shows with you. It'd be fun.
Yeah.
I got one.
I'm willing. I'm willing.
It's like Elmo's red-pilled cousin is what I call him. He's going to be a feature on Lindsay's show whenever her show's ready. But he's got, red pill. It's like, how would you describe it, Jake? Never had to.
Oh yeah. Red pill.
Yeah.
What am I describing?
Red pill. I'm just bad at describing things.
Okay.
What?
If you give me a minute, okay, just a second. Excuse me. On topic, just a second.
Yeah.
Well, we normally end with the funny stuff, but sorry, my buddy Zork over here steal my attention.
I think he's about to pull out a puppet.
Oh yeah.
All right. May I present to you? Second. All right. So may I present to you?
We have so many people watching.
The cast of Buba. Buba is a doll in Hebrew of Buba. First of all, Father Unicorn. This is my alter ego.
Familiar.
Yeah, this is my alter ego.
Jake sends me these all the time.
He's like the father of Keren Shemesh, who's been played by my daughter. This is Keren Shemesh, all right? And they are like doing adventures of father and daughter in the conspiracy world. And we got the Sheeple, of course, and we got the Freemason, we got the Illuminati Silger. We got like a whole cast of people also like voices and actors who are behind them or are going with me along the way on that series.
Well,
anyway, guys,
that's great that you have something to do. When everybody's telling you get down, you're always like, no, I'm gonna make a show. That's great, man.
And it's also how you're able to get around some censorship there in Israel, using creative medium, right? I mean, it's necessary because you can't often just speak your mind.
Listen, I'm like claiming. I remember also like during the COVID times, I also saw like friends of mine being taken out, and for me, I did get some warnings mainly about copyrights and things like that, but not really harsh things about like my content. And I'm claiming, okay, as weird as this sound, as long as I'm doing my content in God's name and for His glory and in His word, He keeps an eye on me, okay, and he takes care of like that His content won't be removed. When I finish up any kind of like creation, the ceremonial things that I do, this is like the publishing thing, which is actually I let go of my copyrights for this creation. Okay, because there should be like a separation between the creator and the owner. In our material life, okay, you have lawyers who claim copyrights and blah, 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 blah. They will take you to court, blah, blah, blah. But if you look at it on the godly world that we're living in, so yeah, I'm handing out my copyrights after my creation. And this is also for that afterwards, someone will ask me to erase my content or to telling me, oh, what you did over here is not really impressive. It's kind of like boring or whatever. I tell them, if you got any complaints, God is the owner of the creation. He's the one who gave me the inspiration. Go to him. Will accept you in the visiting hours and tell them that this creation is not really good.
Well, you also had the Copyright Act of 1976, so you can always tell them. That's what I always tell them. So under the Copyright Act of 1976, Section 109, actually. So.
Yeah.
Well,
thanks
where
for coming
can
on,
people find your content near? Maybe direct, if somebody's interested in checking out some of your EDM music or your some of your creative work.
I've been pretty creative lately, doing lots of trance music and puppet shows and all kinds of like other things. Usually like participating in shows. I'm doing my weekly show with Richie 007 from Tenerife. We have each week like a 3-hour show on his channel. And besides that, I'm called Air News. Yeah, Air News. Last time that we met was called Esh News, and Esh is like the fire element in Hebrew, and Air is like air, but also like air in how it's written like in Hebrew over here. El Ein Reish. It's also means awaken. So yeah. Anyway, so and I like switched to the. News channels are like called by like numbers or like by letters or something like that. Okay, something like that. So I will take the elements and we'll go with that with my names. Okay, I've been to the fire for like 5 years. And now in the Air Kingdom, everything is more like fluid, free, spiritual. Oh, and one more thing I want to mention, and I haven't mentioned actually, we are getting closer to Passover. This Wednesday we have the Passover. Holiday and the Seder dinner, and we're all gonna live free in this time of war. Yeah, be free. And ironic. Can you put the ironic sound of Alanis Morissette in the background? Anyway, the holiday of freedom. Yeah, big time. Yeah. This is a big mocking on Israelis.
Good connection there with the timing. There, oftentimes we see a lot of these big events are happening on the holidays, on the Moedim. So it's we are coming up on Pesach, just like you're saying. So it's a good time to be paying attention, but also a good time to not be afraid, just like you're saying.
And I will tell you, and if we talk about the Jewish religion, I will tell you the big conspiracy about Passover, which is quite revealed. The story of the Exodus is told in the book of Exodus in the first chapters, I think until like chapter 12 or so, about the story of how the Israelites got out of Egypt, Moses came, all the plagues, whatever. And on the Seder dinner that we're going to have on Wednesday evening, there will be every family in Israel will read the Haggadah of Passover. Okay, have you heard about it, Jake? You know this Haggadah?
Yes, yeah.
Now, we have like two stories that are telling the same stories, supposedly, but there are big differences between them. All right. Now, first of all, about the plot. Okay, in the plot of the Exodus story, it goes by regular plot, like according to the chronological plot. Okay. In the Haggadah, you switch from one blessing and one thing to another, no order. About the characters, who is the main character in the story of Exodus?
Moshe.
Moshe, yeah, Moses. How many times does Moses appears in the Haggadah of Passover? Once.
Wow.
Once, yeah, once, and being referred as the sons of Moshe, not about Moshe himself. On the other hand, in the Haggadah of Pesach, you can find Rabban Gamliel, Rabban Darsha ben Zoman, Rabban, all rabbis. They are the stars of this Haggadah thing, okay? And let's talk about rituals. If you read the Exodus, you can read the chapters and read it. Doing the Seder dinner with the Haggadah, you need to wash your hands and to eat this thing and that thing and that thing, and you break the matzah and you blah, 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 blah. There's all rituals. God doesn't want rituals. Anyway, so you understand that the Haggadah thing is just an interpretation of the original story according to their invented oral Bible, of course, that sucks its origins from the Babylonian culture. We were in Babylon, came back from Babylon, and then it was the precise moment where the Jewish religion was invented. And if you like making laughs on the kippah and the tefillin, the Saturn's cube, and all the BDSM straps or whatever that they are doing, so take into mind that they are just like copying the culture of the Babylonian priests that they were back then, in the time of Nimrod and everything, and they brought it over to Israel and make a religion out of it, right? And told it's connected to the Judea tribe, whatever. So come along, but it's like completely Babylonian culture. Oh, and for evidence, they have the Talmud, the Babylonian Talmud. Coincidence, right? Right? Coincidence. Yeah. So all of that. Oh, and and there's cubes on their forehead. What does that resemble to? What kind of like cube is that resemble to? Oh,
Mecca.
Mecca. 5 points. So this is the connection. Okay, this is our all paganic cultures that decided to call themselves monotheistic cultures for the show. They're not believing in God. They're believing in humans. And you know what happens when you believe in humans.
You always get let down.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for coming on the show, and we'd love to have you back. And thank you guys for being in the live chat. Any final words, Jake?
Yeah, drop a like, guys. Share out this video. I think we're having a really good time doing these live streams, and we'd love to have Nir back on here in the future to talk more about some of these very important topics, because there's a lot. We're living in a spiritual war. You're right, and so it's really important to hear out what's happening there in Israel, because it's like the hot spot of this religious turmoil of the whole world, and all the claims of anti-Semitism and Zionism and all the different things and phrases that are being slung around. It's good to get a perspective of somebody who's living in the midst of it.
Thank you. I would just say that yes, everything is happening over here because the lies over here are so deep. Okay, are so deep, and I think that I explained earlier what I'm meaning by. Anyway, Jake, Jeremiah, thank you again. You're the best.
Thanks. And guys, if you want to help Hope out, the QR code is right there. We're trying to get him an independent ambulance, so he can be transferred somewhere that will actually help him. So I appreciate you guys. And Nir, stay on, and we'll talk afterwards. Okay. Sure. Thank you guys, and adios, amigos, and happy trails to you, as Opa would say. Until
we meet again.
Adios.